Olga, and welcome to my kitchen. I was born and raised in Russia, where some of my earliest memories are of watching my mom and aunt cook wonderful homemade meals from the traditional recipes. And now I would like to pass along those traditions to you. So join me, and I'll show you how to make delicious, simple and healthy everyday meals with the Russian flair, using the ingredients that you probably already have in your home. Hi, I'm Olga. Today we're making oven roasted trout. It takes about 5 minutes of the prep time and about 10 to 20 minutes of baking time, and you have a meal in under 30 minutes. Let's get to it. For this dish, we will need olive oil. Use extra light and tasting olive oil, not extra virgin olive oil. We will be baking this fish in a very hot oven. So you want to use light in tasting olive oil because it will not burn. I also have here a mix of herbs. I have a little bit of salt, of course salt to taste, black pepper, a little bit of thyme, basil, and a little bit of a paprika. It's called actually a trout rub. You can get it in the store. But if you don't want to go through the trouble of getting the special rub, you can just mix about a tablespoon of any herbs you like. Additionally, I will be using the fresh thyme to add to this mixture, to this rub. So you will need fresh thyme, some dry herbs, and you will need about 10 cloves of garlic that we will put inside of this fish. Now we will cut garlic. Garlic will go inside of the fish. Notice that I do not put garlic in the rub, and there's a reason for that. Garlic burns very easily. If we put it in the rub, it will be on the outside of the fish and it will burn because we're cooking in a very hot oven. So for this, you don't have to really finely chop it. Just cut it on pieces, maybe bigger ones in the quarters, and cut it along so they would be rather flatter than thicker. They may be longer, it's fine, but as long as they're not too thick, because they're going to get inside of the cavity, and we want to close the cavity so it wouldn't be too open. Alright, this is good. This is the pieces that you want, but this thickness. First, you want to kind of get the leaves off the thyme and just drop them into your bowl. We will discard the stems, and this is how much you need, about a handful of fresh thyme. I am going towards the back of the stem from the top to the back, and try to get as much as you can. And if you see something dropped into the bowl, like a bigger stem, just remove it. About a quarter cup of olive oil goes into your herb mixture, and just mix it all up. I'm not putting any acid here. You can put a little bit of the lemon, squeezed lemon juice, but I like this particular recipe without any acid, any acidity. Trout has very delicate and very specific taste that you want to preserve. You start adding acid and lemon to it, it tempers with the taste of the fish itself, and you really want to taste the fish. I have 4 beautiful trouts here. What I did with this trout, I rinsed it under the cold water, Then I pat it dry with the paper towels inside the cavity and all the way out. And I put it on the oiled baking sheet. Make sure again that when you oil the baking sheet, you use an extra light tasting olive oil, not extra virgin olive oil. Again, you do not want it to burn in the oven. Put this rub on the fish. And what you can do, you can use the spoon, but then ultimately you will be using your hands. Put a little bit on the top. You can start here. Okay. And remember, I already had salt mixed in my herbs. Salt to taste, really. If you don't want to use too much salt, just put a little bit of salt. But at least 1/4 of a teaspoon for 4 fishes. You do need some salt for it to cook. And start rubbing your fish all the way with this mixture. Turn the fish around. Do the same thing on the other side. And put the rub inside of the fish. And rub it inside. If some pieces fail, just put them inside the fish. Make sure all the surface is covered with your mixture. Next, we're putting garlic. Garlic goes inside the fish. I'm putting about 2 to 3 cloves of garlic in each fish and cloves. Make sure that none of the garlic pieces fall out and get on the tray because they're gonna burn. Burnt garlic doesn't taste very good. Space the fish as far from each other as you can. Try and use, if you have the biggest baking sheet you have. The reason is we want them to be as far from each other as they can, so they would get as much of the heat circulation and we would get the crispy skin. If you crowd your fish in a smaller container and if you leave any water on it, it will start steaming and you will not get the crispy skin. Of course it will taste as delicious, but I am going for the crispy skin and let's see how I'm gonna do. My fish is ready to go into the oven. You put it in the preheated 490-degree oven. On the upper third part of your oven. It'll cook for about 10 to 20 minutes, depending on the real temperature of your oven, whether or not you live on a high altitude, and also depending on the size of your fish and how many fishes you're putting in the oven. I have 4 fishes, and I think it's going to take about 20 minutes to cook. Turn your tray around after about 10 minutes and check for doneness after about 15 minutes. And off we go. Let's check on our fish. The way to check it is to try and pull the flesh off the bone. If it comes off easily, it's done. I think it's ready. Just getting it out. Look at this skin. It's really, really crispy. And this flesh is so tender. Now I will plate the fish and I'll show you how you can display it for your guests. I have this beautiful plate here. You can line it with some greens, any greens you like really. And we're gonna put a couple of them on the plate. And they're very fragile, so try not to break them. Look how beautiful it looks. And here you have it, the oven roasted trout. Here's the herb trout. It's very delicious, it's very healthy, quick and simple, and I hope you're gonna try it at home. Thank you very much for watching and join me for my next show.